That's not too hard to do.
Hey, good morning.
How you doing?
Good, you guys.
Is he going to be here today? Do we know? Is he still down below?
He's out.
Oh, that's down below.
Yeah, that's way too low.
Yeah. Kim?
I figured you two buddies. That's good today.
I have them. Oh, okay. Okay. Can I have them and I'll have them out?
Yes.
It's 333.
Hey, it's fine. So, you know that response that we talked about, there may be more to it.
I need one.
Hold on. You sent it over.
They're working on it.
And if you have one,
Oh, you know what? He
Mr.
sent that to me, so I'll be able to take it back. Thank you. Okay.
I think I am.
I do need one more for that book over there. I can take one of these and stick it in there.
Really good.
Yep, thanks.
Too bad.
We let all the.
She's that demanding of us, too.
Yeah, you have that cleans like, what's the gal's name? My wife wants to do something, show. Show what's the psyche?
I don't know. Any good news there?
Yeah, well, let's plug back in, except for sound, which is where I don't know.
We had somebody like that.
Right here, got it. So you get along yet?
Maybe that's what she was doing.
Yeah.
So. Oh, there. There it is. 5:15.
Sure.
What's the next one?
Official email or non-official?
When did you know the other goes to?
Okay.
I'm gonna forward you the email that had you turned in your donations.
2002. What does that mean?
City council chambers.
Jim, is it true you can't ride a horse in the city limits?
No, that's not true.
That was
Well, when they have the fair parade and the
Yeah,
chairs.
how do they reconcile that?
On Main
Well,
Street, I would
for
say
the
that-
cattle drive for the 100 and whatever cent
Centennial, yeah.
I asked
Yeah.
that question. That was,
I do
Characterized as a exception.
Distraction.
I do know that if you chew tobacco and you spit it on the sidewalks, you will be in trouble. Because back in the 1920s, Gladys Burroughs and Flora Gingoss were on the city council, and they were running the city, and they passed an ordinance that hasn't been repealed that prohibits the men from spitting on the sidewalks, and then their dresses would come along and get like, all that goat. So,
Duly noted.
not spit on the sidewalk, because there's a law against it.
What about in the gutter?
I didn't say anything about gutters, just sidewalks. Yeah, I think they were the wooden sidewalks before the law. Remember when I was on the council years ago, I was going through the ordinance, just looking at what the laws were, and I came across that one. That was pretty cool.
The state of Jefferson talking about some rules and laws.
Yeah, that would be one.
Will you be in order? Well, we have a closed session before, or a public comment before closed session at this time, or we have another one after closed session. You guys give me cards, want to speak before? Okay. Barbara Howe?
Hello, I'm Barbara Howe, and I'm a water user on Baxter Creek. And I'm sure you have already smelled the stink that has been floating through the air. The water masters of RCD must know adjudication. I feel they must be honest and have integrity, be responsible, truthful, and not take advantage of people just because they're the water master. You have a huge responsibility when you do that.
I'm sorry, Ms. Howe, but I apologize for interrupting. I'm having some difficulty understanding how administration of the Susan River Water Decree was in the subject matter jurisdiction of this board.
I wonder too.
Then it's not a public comment for which this board is entitled to receive. If we're talking about...
Mr. Chairman, I think the purpose of public comment is people can address the board on any topic. It has nothing to do with the jurisdiction of the board, and I think it basically gives a platform for those who have concerns and grievances and issues and even happy things that they want to share it. They can share it, the media is here, and so I think that's...
My apologies for interrupting.
And I can say, part of it is your fault because this group of people appointed 2 members to the RCD board.
How is that my fault?
Because you sat there and didn't stop it. Just work on that one for a while.
Barbara?
RCD fired our deputy water marshal 3 days before irrigation season started, without a plan to move forward. One thought he had the possibility of a person. The chairman thought he had an engineer group. When he took a look and said he built things, he didn't get in political fights. The other man that he thought, that one of the board members thought they had, won't be able to come to work until the end of June. He's been quite ill. And he already works for our LIC, and you would ask him to do 3 other systems. Impossible, even when you're well. Our last hope, and people have just about lost all hope, because things are going to get ugly, things are going to get mean. When you have somebody with 1,000 head of mother cows and they have nothing to drink, I know some of you understand the predicament that man's in. I'm asking you to petition the court and remove RCD from the Water Master Service. I would like you to petition the court and ask DWR to please come and save us while some of us are still alive. And that's my hope. Help us. Do something.
Thank you, Robert. Jay? J-Dow.
Okay, thank you, supervisors. Well, I'm the guy that's got the 1,000 cows that don't have anything to drink. And I didn't realize quite how bad that situation was until this morning. I have zero water, zero. And we're going to have to haul water. We can't move these mother cows. And the reason this is because the RCD board, that the majority of that board, which this board appointed, made a very unwise decision to terminate our water master contract with our deputy water master a matter of days, 2 or 3 days before the water season started. And it created a lawless situation. So I realize you made the appointments and you may have no further authorities, but you're all smart individuals. And we have an irrigation company here that is a single water user in our Susan River decree, and they're a very litigious group, and they're very political. They've got some of their directors are very influential people in this community, and they're what they say has a lot of pull. But you have to look beyond that as board members and realize that you can't be appointing members that have an agenda that are beholden to a special interest group. And so you do have some responsibility in what has occurred here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do when I leave this meeting. I have a real bad situation, really bad. And how long could a pregnant woman go without clean drinking water? I've got a mess. It's not like I can move these cows somewhere. I would have lefty calves running everywhere around right there if I tried to do that. I don't have anywhere to go with them. I've been here farming actively for 36 years, and I've never had anything like this. I've never seen so much divisiveness in our community as I've seen since this RCD took over the water master. I mean, you know that. You know that. There's people that I've had lifelong relationships with that I will never speak to again because of this water issue. And I realize there may be a limited amount of what you can do right now, but realize we have a very bad situation here. And something has to happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dow. Mike Bartlett.
Mike Bartley, live on Johnsonville Road here in just out of Susanville. I also am a water user and landowner. I'm also a member of the Black Board, and I am here to strongly urge you to put it on your next agenda or as soon as possible to address this issue in some form or another. What RCD did borders on criminal, in my opinion, and it's affecting every single water user in this valley, which basically is all people that vote for every one of you. And, well, maybe with the exception of Aaron, but, you know, it really does affect an awful lot of people here. It's a situation that needs to be addressed. And, you know, we come to you because you are our supervisors, and in a lot of aspects we have nowhere else to turn. I would like to see the 3 members that voted for that recalled. I don't know what the legalities are on that, but we need some people up there that are going to do the right thing and not terminate a contract 3 days before irrigating season, and you know, cause us the grief that they have caused us. Thank you very much for your time.
All right, thank you, Mike. Larry Bodie.
I'm Larry Bodie. To be honest with you, I was upset with what all that took place. I had to write it down, and that's why I gave you a handout this morning. I know. We can go through it, but a big part of what I guess and I'm not sure how in the hell to really talk about all of this. Being one of the original perpetrators that brought all this on and got the Water Master Service taken away from DWR, brought into our community, and then being part of the group that really analyzed all this stuff and got it over to the RCD, and with the shake of the hand and the understanding that the RCD would administer the program, and which became the WAC, would be the kind of the managers of the program to make it work, and it was all good for the community. Well, as you've kind of heard from some of these folks and what's in my letter, it's turned into an absolute disaster. And my biggest concern is what it's done to the RCD. And I feel like I'm just repeating myself over and over on this thing, but to me, the RCD has an important role in this community. And its role is agriculture and the hub of agriculture and the mediator between agencies and landowners and to make things happen. And this water master thing has become an absolute total distraction. And I put in there, and I have my thoughts of things that could fix it or might fix it or whatever. It's unfortunate when it's taken away from the RCD. There goes the money base for the RCD. The Water Master Service does provide the only money base that the RCD can even count on. These people came in. One of them was clear out of the area. Supposedly came in here with the umbrella that he knows nothing about water, so therefore he'll be the neutral one to help anything, and he's been the spearheader that created the whole problem. He's the one that made the motion to get rid of the water master. And when the thing that really upset me, and you'll see in my letter, is that, yeah, I was on the periphery of it, and then come to find out yesterday they had no plan to replace it. There was absolutely nothing in place. They had no, I don't know. To me, it's a total ineptness of the kind of people they put on there. I really believe they violated the Brown Act on 2 occasions that I can prove, and in what they've done and come around, and I totally agree. And I guess I'll even go so far as you see in my letter, dissolve the whole RCD. I have no bone to pick on that thing. I really have a hard time being on a board that I have no trust, honor, or integrity, or anything with the other 3 members. I wonder how in the heck I'm going to survive. But I'm not a quitter, and I'm not going to quit. I know that's happened in the past. Maybe I'm on there for the wrong reason. Maybe I'm the one that's the problem, because I'm one. I really intended today to come before you and say, hey, how can we come up with this member where Ruth had resigned, and say, hey, what can we do? Because I know if those guys have anything to do with it, there's going to be a 4th one right in with them. That's where we're headed if they do the selection. I sit here and say, what after the selections we've had in the past, that hasn't worked good. And as you can see in my letter, I don't know what the hell to do. I talked to John Benet yesterday of LAFCO and said, hey, and there's no question, he knows what an RCD can do. This RCD has not done RCD business for a fact for 3 years. Nothing. And with the 3 members we have on there are all board members from other boards. And what they've created, the one is a bureaucracy where we're now wordsmithing everything that we say and worrying about what's in this minutes versus that minute. We're not doing anything for the good of the community. We're playing games. And then we top it off with firing the water master. I mean, it's just a plain mess, folks. And I don't know what the heck to do. And as you can see at the end of my letter, I'm asking for help. And I don't care where the help comes from. I hope the judge, and I wish there was a way to talk to the judge. I know I've talked to some individuals. But you could do one thing that could really help us, and that just says the water master works for me. Once you guys get him hired, works under my discretion, and get us out of it. It's become political. It is a mess. The water master cannot work under this community. Even if he was under the county, you guys would be having the same damn problems that we're having. I'm sorry. Anyway.
I appreciate your comment.
Thank you for your time, and I'm sorry we had to take up your time on this business.
All your time. Does anybody else wish to speak that public comment before we go into closed session? On the water master deal, I think we need to look at something. I'm not sure exactly. Maybe we need maybe I can get together with staff. Or,
We, Mr. Chairman, we have this placed on our next agenda so we can take action. And one of the actions I'd like to see explored and brought back as an option for the board is the one that was suggested by Mrs. Howe, how we could maybe petition to go back and move this thing back to the Department of Water Resources. It was brought to this board years ago to support moving it from DWR to this current arrangement on the premise it was going to save us money and it was going to be more efficient stuff. DWR was jacking up the rates. So I can tell you right now, every dollar we pay DWR would be tenfold in terms of reap and benefit for the arrangement. So I think that's what we need to look at as an option.
that's an option. And we're not going to discuss this now, but I don't think DWR would take it back. And I wouldn't support that because they're trying to get rid of these districts. They're not take it back. Anyhow, that's agendized study session or whatever for a future date. I don't know if next week is time on the agenda.
There's probably not enough time to analyze it and get it ready for the agenda posting, so I suggest the 17th or later.
Okay. That's what we're doing. Sounds good. All right, if there's nobody else who wishes to speak now at public comment, we will have another public comment after closed session. And right now, we will go into closed session. Announcement of items to be discussed in closed session.
Mr. Chairman, the board will convene in closed session for a conference with legal counsel, significant exposure to litigation pursuant to Government Code Section 549, and for a telephonic conference with labor negotiator Rick Haig. This may include the following bargaining units: Lassen County Peace Officers Association, Lassen County Peace Officers Supervisors Association, Lassen County Peace Officers Management Association, and Lassen County Deputy Sheriff's Association.
Okay, we're going to closed session. Everybody exit.